believes I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello, welcome to episode 27 of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney Perry. Hello, thanks for joining. So I am currently sitting outside on my porch, just kind of taking in the view and appreciating things. I'm taking a moment to appreciate the world and life and all of that it is. And I highly encourage everybody to do the same. I know that not everybody has a view of country. Some people have, everybody has a different view out their window. Everybody looks at things, a different way, and everybody sees a different view when they look out their window or set out onto their porch or when they step outside. So whatever your view is, take a moment and absorb it and take it in. And if your view is of something that maybe you don't like, your view is something that you wish were different, then take a moment and picture what you want your view to look like instead. Take the time to just kind of close your eyes and visualize what you do want that view to look like, what it consists of, what your surroundings are. Picture that place and then try to go out and make that place a reality. I tend to get up, and sometimes like today, I got up and I wanted to just go and get things done, which is great. Of course, that's a good trait to want to accomplish things, to achieve things and not be lazy. Those are good traits. But I tend to kind of forget that it's also okay to not finish every single thing and not rush around and, I'll get a list done and then I tend to kind of want to add more to it instead of meaning, okay, I got my list done, so now time to relax. And I tend to kind of start the day just going, which is sort of what I have to do, like I've talked about before, kind of just do it. If I don't just go and do it, I won't get it done. But I forget to take that time to enjoy the view and sit. And, from where I'm at right now, I think the view is amazing and calming. But what stinks is the view outside of here, not so much. I feel like the world has gotten pretty nasty and ugly. And that makes me sad because the world, I think, as a whole is good and wants to be good. So it's sad when I can sit at home and enjoy the view and enjoy things and I feel calm and peaceful, but when I leave here, it's just so much. And the world has gotten pretty angry and nasty. And I do remember a time when we worked together. There are so many times when different countries joined forces and helped one another. There were times when different states got together and helped a state that was maybe, having a flood or a hurricane or whatever. And times when countries have helped each other out. And, it's just sad that we've gotten to the point where our government wants us to battle one another. And when I say government, I'm not getting into a political debate here because I mean government on both sides. I mean, it happens no matter what branch you are from. I feel that right now, what the goal is seems to be to divide. And if you look throughout what's been going on, just in general lately, it seems like the goal is to cause chaos, to stir the pot. to poke the bear. And I've never understood that. Why do we have to go around pushing each other's buttons? It seems like we do that a lot in general. Like even when you're a kid and you have a sibling or something, it's like you find it really fun. I'm an only child, so I only see this because I have 2 sons. So I can't speak because I'm an only child, but I can speak on the fact that I have 2 sons. And it just seems like siblings want to do that. They want to, piss each other off and poke the bear. And it's human nature, I guess. But I think we forget that the sun and the moon doesn't revolve around us and our feelings and what we want and our needs. I don't know when we stopped thinking about others and their rights and their beliefs and their wants and their needs. Everyone keeps talking about this I, me, I. And we're finding things to be pissed off about. My son's dog, you can probably hear him in the background. Let's see, this is what anxiety and stuff sounds like. Well, anyways, he stopped, of course. But I work at a boarding facility and I see anxious dogs and they go around and they just, and they pant and they pant and they pace and they pant. And I see people. I see humans that do that. They just have to go around just being pissed. And I'm pissed. I'm pissed. What can I be pissed about? Maybe pissed at this, pissed at that. Okay, if you want to be mad at the world, that's fine. Of course, no one's telling you not to be, but don't create problems that aren't there. Don't create things to be angry about. And if you are angry about things that are actually occurring, going around being pissed off and stirring the pot and trying to make other people angry just for the sake of being angry literally does no good. If you're that mad, then try to find a solution. Try to get people together and united and work together to resolve that issue. We don't have to be pissed off and be mad at each other and angry to get things achieved. We don't have to yell and scream and talk over each other to get things achieved. And why put yourself in that state of mind? I mean, constantly being mad and anxious and pissed off and looking for the negative just is not healthy. And promoting things that aren't healthy, I don't like that either. Why are we promoting things that could kill us, could harm us, could alter us in not a good way? And I mean that with anything. It's not a specific thing. It's don't promote things that can change and alter us and that aren't healthy for our mind or body. We shouldn't promote that. But at any rate, I look out the window and I sit on my porch and I realize how very grateful and blessed I am to look at what I look at and find that peace and calm. It just makes me sad that when other people look out their window, they're maybe stuck and they're not happy, so they're looking for reasons to be unhappy. And I think, well, let's look for reasons to be happy and join together and fix the problem and visualize what we do want. Change that view. Like I always say, change that perspective. But I do think that the government, I don't mean just now, I mean as a whole, really wants to divide and separate. And I've never understood why we are all focusing so much on defining ourselves as one thing and putting ourselves into a box. There's so many people that have worked so hard to do just the opposite of that. If you define yourself as one thing, whether it's your gender, your religion, your political background, your where you live, if you are a single mom, whatever it is, if that is the only thing that defines you, that's sad. I feel bad for you. I highly suggest you go out and find other things that make you who you are. And frankly, I find that offensive. I find it incredibly offensive if someone wants to put me in a box and tell me that I have problems and I'm oppressed or I'm not going to make it in the world, so I need to lower standards or I need these certain special things or different things because without them you're not going to succeed because I'm defining myself as this one thing. I've worked for 48 years to be who I am, and I can assure you it's not one thing. I am not just a woman. I am not just a Taurus. I am not just blonde. I am not just part Swedish. I am not just one thing. I have worked hard. I put a lot of tears and blood and sweat and good times and hard work into being who I am. And I will never, ever define myself as one thing or use that one thing as a hindrance or to get a leg up. I want to get a leg up because of my moral and my character and who I am. I want to get a leg up because I went out and I earned it. And hey, if it means taking advantage of scholarships or grants or loans, great. You should 100% take advantage of things out there that can help you. I'm just saying it's not about just one thing for me. And I feel like countries right now are trying so hard to put each other down, and we aren't doing our due diligence to go and research things. We make a snap judgment because of things we see and hear on TV or, in magazines or in newspapers or on social media, instead of taking the time to research to see if they're true or taking the time to listen. And so today I decided, hey, I'm going to go out and, you either need to make yourself a better person before you go knocking on anyone else's doorstep. You can't go around saying how awful someone else is when you've never talked to that person. You've never tried to see where they're coming from, why they believe what they believe, or do the research. If you haven't done those things, why are we so hell-bent on finding the worst, the very worst in each other, and then being like, nope, you are that thing because I heard that about you, because I read that about you. You are these things because the government is trying their hardest to show us what they want us to see, not what we need to see, not what's actually going on. And there's good examples of that when times of hurricanes and flooding and times of like 9/11, when we come together and we forget everything else that's going on and we come together. But if you look and you watch, you will see a lot of flip-flopping, a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of snakes in the grass in many different aspects. And we are allowing it. We're falling for it. So I say we look for the good. And we realize that some of us are assholes. Some of us are pieces of crap. Yes, absolutely. But let's try to enjoy our view. And if we don't like our view, try closing our eyes and visualizing what we want that view to look like instead, and then figuring out how to make that happen. Let's not define ourselves and allow other people to be offensive by saying we're not capable of doing it because of our skin color, because of our hair color, because of our religious background, because of our sexual preference. Those things do not hold me back, and those things do not define me, and I will not allow others to use them to define me or to hold me back and tell me that that is what's holding me back. And I just hope others do the same. I hope we start reaching out to others and seeing what it is that's making someone else sad and trying to figure out what that is instead of making assumptions and speaking for them. Instead of speaking for others, let's speak to others. Anyways, I'm rambling as I do, but thank you for listening to episode 27 of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney Perry, and thank you so much for tuning in again.